looked up at the night sky on a day with calm weather and on a dark place? If you did, you may have seen dozens of stars out there, and you might have felt that you want to go to explore even more wonderful celestial objects on the night or morning sky. So in this video, I'm going to give you some handy tips to help start explore our universe and how to plan for that. So let's get started. I'm Andita Katmika, the creator of Stargazing Kingdom YouTube channel, which is a professional guide to help explore our universe and beyond by step. So before you watch this video, don't forget to subscribe my channel and hit the bell, so you won't miss any new video I have released and uploaded to this channel. So since this is my first video, I also like to hear your feedback on the comment section below. Stargazing, also known as night sky observation, is the hobby or activity of studying the stars, enjoying it, and also exploring our universe by using the naked eye, binoculars, or telescopes. But some people ignore this as thinking that it needs telescopes, binoculars, and those stuff, and also it costs for that, and it might need some real fields of physics, maths, and many more fields of stargazing. But in reality, it's not a hard thing to do. You can need an eye, and if you can have binoculars, it will be also good for that. So fortunately, it can fit into two categories. If you want to study the stars and your ambition is to be an astronomical scientist, and those who study the stars and find deep sky objects, stargazing is a really useful hobby to do, since once you've done it, you know what type of sky is visible on this month, and what are the constellations, or what are the stars, planets, and you can start mapping. And before you go outside and look up at the night sky to spot some stars and planets, there are some few tips you need to follow to make it successful and more detailed. The first thing we need to do is to check the light pollution. Light pollution is the presence of artificial lights such as street lamps, car lights, and many other artificial lights that will outshine the atmosphere and night sky. Since because of its shine, most of the light of the dim celestial objects such as the Milky Way, and also planets, stars, and even celestial objects like nebulas and galaxies are probably dimmed or even blocked by those artificial lights. So before we go on stargazing, we need to find a dark place without street lights and those stuff. To check the light pollution on your area, go to your web browser on your laptop or mobile device and type light pollution map.info. So just type enter, and will be directed to the website. So this is the interface of the website, and it shows you all the most best places to stargaze and make it successful and detailed. So the red marked places here shows you that these places are not great for stargazing, and you must go away from here to another darker place for better stargazing. So the blue areas and also the gray areas, which is actually frozen and not colored, shows you these are the best places for stargazing. And also the one of the most darkest skies is located here. So that's it, and check the app. So if you want to view the detailed look place to live on. Just click on search places box here and type your region, the region you live on. So and now it shows you it's pin and where I live on, about how much light pollution is there. So this shows that this place I live on is actually a little light pollution and not a great place to places not the stars and those stuff. So if you want to go stargazing, you must find a darker place. So you can select any place you like. But wait, this is not over yet, and there are not many things you have to do before you go outside again. So next thing you do is check the weather on your region. So if you have a Windows 10 operating system like this, go to the search bar here and type weather. So once you have typed here, it shows you on the top an app called weather, and here there are much more settings and those stuff. So you just click on it and now it opens the weather app. However, this is a built-in app and sometimes it needs updates and those stuff, so you can download it from Microsoft Store here. But if you have Windows 7, this feature is not available, and you had to try things. So here it shows you the weather and stuff. Still here it's not updated, and now it shows you weather provided by Bing. And this app is also requires internet, and however it doesn't take that much internet. However, this is not here, it's not shown yet, but don't worry, on your app it might be shown the weather. This app is still in updates and crashes, so this is not the best way to do it. So if you have Windows 7 or even that's okay if you have Windows 8 or Windows 10, click the search tab on Google Chrome or web browser you use and type windy.com and press enter. So now it will show you the weather, rain, thunder, and many more than the classical weather app of Windows 10, and it has much more features. And here the moving lines disappearing, and moving lines on here shows the wind and its direction, and also the blue areas, blue, red, green, and those areas show the rain and the thunder. So you can see here on my region, the blue color area has a little bit of rainy on these days, so this is not good, and it had a look another day. So if you want to find your region, you click somewhere around and you can move it anywhere you like, or the best places for stargazing, and that's how we do it. And if you want much more detailed images, you go to radar and satellite option, go weather radar, and also so now it shows radar and any other options, and also the satellite option shows you how much clouds and how much cloud is on the place. And also there's also another option called clouds on here. If you click on that, it shows you all the clouds and cloud patterns, and also the wind, how much. So it shows you by percent how much cloudy is this place, and it around anywhere and zoom in. So that's how you look at it. This is a really cool app, and one of my favorite weather apps that I use. So the next thing you need to do is to find what is the sky you want to observe. Since the sky changes day by day, more different constellations rise in the eastern sky after sunset, and some sets on the west as the month continues. This is because the sun travels through 12 constellations, which is called the zodiacal constellations, and probably associated with the horoscope and those stuff. So don't think that this astronomy and stargazing is relevant for horoscope and astrology. This astronomy is different, and also astrology is different, or is also different, and don't think those two are the same. So to find a better sky for our stargazing plan, I got a really cool app called Stellarium, and this is the user interface of the app, and it shows you lots of constellations and also the 3D view of the night sky in reality, and there's much more to wonder. So here, this is the sky. You can see around 7:53 p.m. at night time. So there are lots of constellations visible here, and these days are the ones that are the best see them. So to find the constellations visible, first you need to click the constellation labels button and also the constellation lines button here. So now it shows you constellations, all the constellations visible on this month, like globe, and however the landscape is not much the same, and there might be trees. Their landscape can be different. However, this is an example of how it will look on a very dark sky. So here there are loads of constellations and easily find on the night sky, and most of it is well known, especially this one. This is Ursa Major, the Great Bear, with the beautiful asterism called the Big Dipper, and also Leo, the lion, and also Orion, Taurus, the bull, Orion, the hunter, Gemini, the twins, and also Auriga, the charioteer, and much more rising on. We can set it on. So, however, the sky will not stay to your region. So change that. We're gonna go to the sky and living options window, which is on here. So just click on that and it shows you some settings. So on here, this is the tab called light pollution, and on here you can change the light pollution and how far full on here. So, or you can change it to take from locations database, since this will automatically adjust the sky according to your view. So now you can see most of the constellations. However, there's less stars, and shows you how the stars are visible. So this is on my region, and if you have gone to a very dark place, there may be much more stars and celestial objects that are visible in the night sky. So this is the sky sky visible around this month night. So I'm gonna change this light pollution here to also dim here. So now you can set it normal, and here if we took planets, there's the one planet called Mars here, and you don't need any telescope to observe this planet. If you had a binocular, then it will be also okay, but you can still observe this planet with the naked eye in the night sky. So this is how it looks with its moon on Stellarium. So here it shows its two moons, Phobos and Mars, and here it's Deimos. So don't think these type of images will be seen from telescopes, but those since this planet is the second closest planet to the Earth, but however it's still too far away to observe it from the naked eye, so you can see it as the bright dot in the night sky. However, to find planets, you have to look towards monotonous objects, which means objects that doesn't twinkle. So if you spotted one, it's a planet. And so all the other objects that twinkle are stars, and also there can be galaxies. So here is the constellation of Orion, one of the most easiest ones to find, and also here if you zoom on, there's another deep sky object called the Orion Nebula. There's much more to observe, and here is the moon on the constellation called Gemini, the Twin, and the Great Bear, and also Leo, Virgo, the Maiden, and so rising sky. So now those are the constellations visible on the night sky. So now we're gonna switch to morning sky. What are the planets, constellations, and celestial objects visible? So we just go to the date and time window here and change it to the morning sky. So okay, now this is the morning sky and how it looks. So here the constellations have changed, and here we can find a great Milky Way, which is actually most of the ones on photos and high resolution and videos and many more here. So this is how you'll spot the Milky Way in realities, but it can depend on you according to your region. So we change light pollution here. Might change here, whatever. This is really dim to find. Maybe much further observations. However, we'll talk about the Milky Way and how to observe it on another video. So for now, I'm going to show you the other constellations and planets visible around this month of the morning sky. So around near the Milky Way, there's another constellation called Scorpius, which is Scorpion, and one of the most easiest constellations to find. Did you know that Scorpius, the Scorpion, is opposite to the constellation called Orion, which is the Hunter? Which it turns out that when this constellation, the Scorpius, rises in the night sky, the constellation Orion sets in the western sky after the rise of Scorpius. So you can't see Orion and this Scorpio constellation at the same time. And here, if we move on to the Milky Way, this is the constellation called Sagittarius, and this constellation contains the Milky Way. However, Scorpius we talk here is only close to the Milky Way, and this constellation holds the Milky Way galaxy. And you might have heard that in the middle of the Milky Way there is a galaxy called Sagittarius A, and it's named after this constellation called Sagittarius. However, the best way to find this is to look for a great asterism called the teapot. We'll talk more about those asterisms in a future video. For now, here it probably looks like a real teapot, and the special point we need to observe. So Sagittarius represents an archer sky. So if there are many other constellations still easy to find, but the most best is the constellation called Lyra, which is the heart, and we'll learn all about this constellation in future videos. And also Cygnus, which is the swan, or Zenith, and which has a star called Zenith, and also Aquila contains a bright star called Altair, and also there's an asterism called the Summer Triangle, and most of us know it better, and you can see it on the morning sky, and after the months of July and August you can see this asterism on the night sky. So wait, so now most of these constellations probably easy to find, and there are two planets here. Zooming out, there are two planets. The first one is Saturn. It's known for its amazing rich beauty here. Zoom in, you can see its rings and lots of moons on here. And the one the most best observed is Titan, large moon of Saturn. However, the most of the moons of Saturn are dim, so it's best viewed by binoculars or telescope. We can't see any moons of Jupiter and Saturn with unaided eye. So there's Jupiter again, and if you look closely with the binocular, you can find all of its moons such as Ganymede, Callisto, Io, and Europa, and those more Galilean moons, and also many other moons. It's best viewed on the telescope. So these two planets are probably located on the constellation called Capricornus, and that's visible. So most of us will be thinking about the morning star or evening star, which is probably called the planet Venus. However, in these days it's not visible, and it's hidden in the glare of the sun, which means actually it's passing through the sun these days, and it's not visible until the months of May and June. So, but don't worry, it will be visible soon, around very high in the sky, around the months of July and August, and it will be visible around on the whole year this time, especially for dawn. So those are the planets visible on the night and the evening sky, and also the constellations visible. And here there are many more bright constellations you can find, and there are many hidden objects. We'll talk about them in another video. So those are the constellations visible on the night and evening, and also on the morning sky. So the next thing we need to do is is to find an obstructed view towards the horizon. So for that, you can find any open area near your region to view the stars. So if your region have a paddy field nearby or any farming field, those places are will be really useful since it covers a large area of land. It's really easy without any buildings, the trees. It's really easy to spot the stars from there. And also you can choose such as a sports ground or any other ground near your region which is without trees and also with lots of benefits. And also you can choose a beach, but I don't recommend it for advancers since to find most of the sky objects you need a place with lots of clear view. However, if you look towards the northern sky in a beach, you won't see most of the southern sky since after behind the seashore there are trees, buildings, and especially on a beach resort there are trees and all other stuff that will block your view. However, you can see the place you're looking, which means the direction where the ocean and the beach is located. However, you won't be able to see if you're looking at the north, you won't be able to see the south. So if you're looking at the east, you won't be able to see you will be able to see the east and the west, but however, you won't be able to see the north and the south clearly. So beaches are actually not good, but if you want to only observe one direction and study only one direction of the sky, beach is also a great idea since it directly shows you the horizon, and even you can see sunrise and sunset, dusk, dawn, and even stars, moons, or planets rising. And especially if you have a telescope, you can view towards the horizon and can see in a planet or moon or any other star which rises on the horizon. So if you're looking towards the horizon, there's an important thing that is you won't see even a bright star, much more brighter close to the horizon. This is because of the gases and all those mixed up on the atmosphere far away, so we see all the gases together, and it probably makes the rising objects kind of orangish and reddish color, and it also makes it dimmer since most of gases blocks the light. But don't worry, after reaching higher and higher, it will be probably visible in the night sky. So that's how you can find a clear obstructed view towards the horizon. And finally, we have reached the end of the video. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe my channel and hit the bell, and also like, comment, and share with a friend. Thanks for watching this video again. And meanwhile, happy stargazing everyone!